welcome back to this channel where we spread love and positive vibes. And I want to start the video by thanking our new subscribers and our returning subscribers. We value you, we appreciate you, and we thank you so much. May God bless you. You make the day for us. Actually, you are the reason we are this far, and therefore we appreciate you a lot. Today we are going to hear about the most influential, one of the most influential people in the world. And this person comes from Jamaica. That is why I always say Jamaica could be small, but it has giants. It can do exploits. And this person we are going to talk about, we are going to see how Jamaica has influenced her position in the world, because this person commands a lot of respect all over the world. She has a great say in the world because she's one of the leaders of the most popular country in the world. I'm talking about none other than Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris' father, Donald Harris, was from Jamaica in a village, a market village called Brown. And I'm going to talk about it later. So Donald Harris was born in Jamaica in 1938. And he later migrated to the United States of America, where he became a citizen and married and got children there. So I'm going to cover all that. But today's video is about how did Jamaica influence Kamala Harris' position in United States of America. And if you don't know, guys, currently Kamala Harris is the Vice President of the United States of America, and she's about to become the President of the United States of America. And if I'm not wrong, actually I'm not wrong, she will be the first black woman president in the United States of America. Kamala Harris has gained a lot of success in her life. She has tremendously risen the step of the ladder and become the most influential woman in the world. How did Jamaica influence her position today? That is what we are going to look at today. And to see that, I'm going to cover some of the history of the relatives of Donald Harris that are still in Jamaica even up to today. So I'm going to take you along the history of Donald Harris, and later we are going to see how Jamaica has shaped Kamala Harris and who she is today. So there is this group called Scripps News. Scripps News, I tend to think it's a company, a journalist company in the United States of America. And therefore they wanted to find out where Donald Harris was born and his upbringing and the influence he had on her two daughters. And therefore they traveled all the way from United States of America to Jamaica and actually met some of Donald Harris' family members who gave insight into the vice president upbringing and the influence she got from Jamaica. And I want to give a slight history of Jamaica as a country. We have talked about Jamaica a lot. And we know Jamaica and their characteristic. I'm going to come to it later, and we see how this culture of Jamaica has actually shaped Kamala Harris. So Jamaica is located 1,400 miles from Washington, D.C., We all know that Washington, D.C. is the location where the White House is. The White House is where the President of the United States of America actually stays. And therefore, from Washington, D.C. to Jamaica is 1,400 miles. It is a home, Jamaica is a home to 2.8 million people and a diaspora that spans the globe. We have talked about Jamaica and the people of Jamaica migrating to different countries to actually look for green pastures. I always say Jamaicans are aggressive, they are hardworking, they are actually fearless and very determined. And therefore, most of the Jamaicans actually look for green pastures to the neighboring countries. And the neighboring countries happens to be United States of America, United Kingdom, and other Germany, and all those countries. You can bear me witness, because as the Mwango was traveling to Jamaica the first time, we could see her moving from one country to the other until she arrived in Jamaica. She moved through Germany, through Switzerland, through New Zealand or something like that, and then she went to UK and later went to Jamaica. So the Jamaican people, being aggressive and being very hardworking, they travel to the neighboring countries. Most of them have migrated to United States of America. Others have migrated to Canada. Others have migrated to the UK, and so on. And therefore, Jamaica has a 2.8 million people population and a diaspora that spans the globe. Vice President Kamala Harris' father, Donald Harris, is part of the diaspora. He is part of those people that migrated from Jamaica to United States of America. Donald Harris was born in Jamaica, like I had said earlier, in 1938. He is an economist, and now, if I'm not wrong, he lives in Jamaica, in the same city as her daughter, the capital city of the United States of America. That is where they stay. So Donald Harris, like I had said, was born in Jamaica in 1938. He migrated to the United States of America and became a citizen, and later married a biologist by the name Shamara Gordon, and fathered two daughters, one of them being Kamala Harris and the sister. He rose to the pinnacle of academia as a professor at Stanford University. So this man, as we can see, was a very, very brilliant man. So after going through his education, he became an academia as a professor at Stanford University in the United States of America. Remember that Donald Harris was an economist. This is a very important information to us, because for every father and every parent, the children carry the genetic makeup of their parents. And therefore, Kamala Harris has great genes from the father. Being an educationist and actually very brilliant, very educated, very intelligent, very aggressive, Kamala Harris took these great genes with her, and that is why she is who she is today. So one of the things that shaped Kamala Harris to who she is today is her sharing or her inheriting the genetic makeup of her father, who was a Jamaican. So the father was very, very brilliant man, and I want to say this DNA was passed on to Kamala Harris, who is very brilliant, very intelligent, very smart, very social, very aggressive, very hardworking, all the qualities of the genetic makeup of Jamaicans. And at this juncture, I want to remind you that Jamaicans are smart, they are hardworking, they are aggressive, they are determined, they don't lose hope, they are not cowed by the people and their positions, and they can go to any length to attain their vision, to attain their mission. All this genetic makeup has been taken or has been passed to Kamala Harris through the father Donald Harris DNA makeup. And therefore, Kamala Harris inherits all the characters of the Jamaican people. Very aggressive, very hardworking, very humble, very resilient, very determined, never losing hope, declaring that the sky is the limit. And she has actually listened up the radar and become the Vice President of the United States of America. And now we are awaiting her to be the first black woman president in the United States of America. She actually inherited quite great genes from Jamaica. And therefore we can say Jamaica has really shaped who Kamala Harris is. And we're going to see in her childhood, Kamala Harris could often be taken by the father to Jamaica so that she can learn some of the characters, some of the qualities, some of the culture, some of the beliefs of the people of Jamaica. And therefore she carries a lot about the Jamaican people. So let me go on so that I can show you how much Kamala Harris was influenced by the Jamaican culture and the way of life. So I had talked earlier about the Scripps News that decided to come all the way from the United States of America and go to Jamaica so that they can find out how Jamaica shaped who Kamala Harris is. And therefore Scripps News, Ava Joy Barnett, this is one of the people from the Scripps News that visited Jamaica. And he was actually a Jamaican. So this guy, Ava Joy Barnett, who was born in Jamaica, traveled back to the country to find out more about Donald Harris and how his Jamaican roots have shaped his daughter, who is now running for presidency in the United States of America. So the purpose of Barnett travel was to actually find out about Donald Harris and how his Jamaican roots has actually influenced who Kamala Harris is. And therefore, Barnett traveled to Jamaica and went to the village where Donald Harris was born. Donald Harris, like I had said earlier, was born in a hometown called Brown. Browntown is actually a market community a few miles inland from the popular tourist spots on Jamaica North Coast. So this is a small town in the north coast of Jamaica, which is actually a tourism attraction area. And therefore, I want to actually relate this to the fact that Kamala Harris was always taken to Jamaica, and particularly taken to this village or this town called Brown. And therefore, she had a chance to interact with the locals, the Jamaican people, and also interact with the tourists that used to go to the north coast of Jamaica, who are actually very many. And therefore, she got exposure. She got a lot of exposure at a very early age, because we are going to see later that Donald Harris used to take the girls when they were very young to Brown Town so that they can actually go and interact with the locals, have to run the culture of the Jamaican people. And therefore, the fact that Kamala Harris and the sister used to be taken to Browntown, and this town is just a few miles from the tourism attraction area, north coast of Jamaica, it means that as this girl could visit Browntown, she could interact with the locals who are Jamaicans and learn about their culture, learn about their ways, learn about their beliefs, and learn about their way of life. She could also have a chance to interact with the people that were visiting Jamaica, who are people all over the world. So she was exposed at an early age to interact with the people all over the world. And actually we can see that has shaped her a lot in who Kamala Harris is today. A very social being, a very down-to-earth woman. She can interact with anyone. I myself, I have seen her interacting with people. Actually, the other day I was watching her talking to this woman who was calling the mother so that the mother can hear she's actually communicating with Kamala Harris. We have seen her communicating with the small children. We have seen her socializing and having a great time outside her working schedule. So this social bit she got from this visit in Browntown, where she could interact with the Jamaican people and also interact with the people all over the world. And I want to say the social part of a human being is very, very important when it comes to politics and when it comes to leadership. You have to be social to be able to convince people to vote you in, to be able to convince people that you are the best person, in spite of the competition that is there when people are vying for seats like the presidency of the United States of America. And therefore, Kamala Harris learned the interaction bit, learned how to socialize, learned how to respect people of all walks. And that is why she's better placed than Donald Trump. I don't want to compare them politically, but I want to say we have all seen that when it comes to character, when it comes to social life, when it comes to interaction, Kamala Harris is way ahead of her opponent. And therefore, Jamaica really shaped Kamala Harris in terms of social life, in terms of interacting with people, in terms of respect to other people, in terms of respecting the culture and the race of other people and all that. So Jamaica shaped her a lot when it came to this area. So let us go back to Barnett's visit in Jamaica. The Harris family is well known in Browntown, and it is actually said the town was named after one of the family side of Donald Harris. And therefore, when Barnett reached Jamaica, and particularly reached the Browntown, he found that the Harris family are very, very influential in the Browntown, and the town was actually named after one side of the family. And Barnett talked to two of Donald Harris' cousins, Sherman and Mark Harris, who actually ran business in that town. According to Sherman, who is actually a cousin to Donald Harris, he told Barnett of the Scripps News that Kamala Harris, as a child, could visit the town so often with the father. Sherman also said Kamala Harris enjoyed praying with the animals, cows, goats, and so on. And I want to say that this is another bit of story that actually tells us how Jamaica has really shaped who Kamala Harris is. One thing, she was taught you can do anything. You can do everything. You cannot just be up there, you can also come down here and be able to socialize and to identify with the people who are very low on the ground. So Kamala Harris having to actually play around with cows and goats, that means she was actually in the village, because you don't get to see cows and goats in big towns. And therefore her exposure in this small town really molded her to actually appreciate everyone in the society and respect them and honor them and appreciate them. And that is what we have seen during her campaign. She really respects everybody in the society, from the highest to the lowest. And we also saw the other day that Kamala Harris promises when she enters State House is to uplift the people who are very low in the society, the class that is very low in the United States of America. She has promised a lot on uplifting the people that are down there, because she can relate to them. She can actually fathom their feelings, their struggles, their problems. Because when she was in this small town of Brown, she interacted with the very low people in the society. And therefore she understands them better. She actually can be able to assist them, to uplift them, because she has been there. She has interacted with the low people in the society. And that is a plus for her. So Jamaica has really shaped her in the fact that the father taught her to be very, very down in the society. And we have not yet finished on how the father really influenced who Kamala Harris is. And the father having come from Jamaica, this is actually a Jamaican influence. Harris wrote about frequent visit to Jamaica with his young daughters. So the father actually could write a lot. And I'm going to feature how Kamala Harris, as the president of the United States of America, is going to have a lot of influence in Jamaican economy and prosperity. Because the father himself was very, very much into uplifting Jamaica as a country and seeing Jamaica being independent financially. And therefore Harris wrote about frequent visits to Jamaica with his young daughters. He could also bring them to the market to expose them to the environment, one. So Donald Harris could bring his daughters to the market, Brown market, so that they can be brought, or rather they can be exposed to the environment of the people of Jamaica, to the way of life of the people of Jamaica, to the beliefs and characters of the people of Jamaica, so that this woman can be shaped as a strong Jamaican woman whom we can see today. Because that kind of courage, that kind of fearlessness, that kind of determination, that kind of hard work can only be seen from genetic makeup of Jamaicans. And therefore, Donald Harris used to take the daughters to the market so that they can be exposed to the culture, to the way of life of the Jamaican people. And that molded Kamala Harris to who she is today. So, according to Mark Harris, the cousins I talked about, remember I said that Burnett met these two cousins of Donald Harris. One of them was Shaman and the other one was Mark Harris. So Mark Harris said that Donald Harris often focused on educating her daughters and immersing his daughters in the Jamaican culture. So he was very, very purposed, or rather he was very, very determined to teach his daughters about the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican way of life. And this is very, very strong because it teaches a person to respect the culture of other people and to identify herself with the culture where she has come from and to actually appreciate the roots where she has come from. And above all, to get to understand the strong culture the strong beliefs, the strong habits of the people of Jamaica, which Kamala Harris ran at a very, very early age. No, Donald, according to Mark, believed in actually showing the true way of life and where he has come from. So he believed in showing his daughters the true way of life. Kamala herself at one time talked about the father and said the father taught her to be fearless, and that is what we see in Kamala Harris. Very fearless, very determined, very hardworking, very aggressive, very, very smart woman. All these qualities she got from her exposure to Jamaica, to the people of Jamaica, to the culture of Jamaica, to the way of life of Jamaica. And that is how Jamaica influenced the most influential woman in the world. Can you believe it? And she's actually now about to become the first black president of the United States, the first black woman president of the United States of America. We salute Jamaica, we salute Donald Harris for being a true Jamaican patriot. That even when he moved to the United States of America, he never forgot his roots. He never forgot Jamaica, where he had come from. He decided that even after marrying a non-Jamaican, he must bring his daughters to Jamaica so that they can learn the way of Jamaica, the culture of Jamaica, the people of Jamaica, the belief of Jamaica, and all that entails to Jamaica. We really salute this man for respecting, honoring, and actually being proud of where he had come from, which is Jamaica. And he taught his daughters to be proud of where they have come from. So guys, that is all for today. Thank you for watching me once again. Subscribe to this channel, like our videos, comment down below, and we're going to appreciate. Bye bye. See you during the next video, and God bless.